What are your thoughts on how Marathon will do now that Arc Raiders has gone to reach some massive success? I want to talk about this. So I'll play a little footage from Jack Frags playing some Arc Raiders in the background while we discuss it. Jack, the OG. Arc Raiders being successful. For a while, I think the narrative was, and the expectation was that if Arc Raiders is successful, it takes away from Marathon, which I think at a certain point was definitely true. Because at a certain point, Arc Raiders, we didn't know when it was launching, except that it was later in 2025. And it was announced that Marathon was releasing in September. So at this point, like originally, Marathon would have been out for a couple of months already. And I think if Marathon had launched with like lacking content in September, and then this happened, this game comes out in November, I think absolutely it would have put Marathon underground instantly. Like game over, Red Rover. But what I think could happen now with Marathon is that Arc Raiders has introduced a lot of people to extraction shooters who haven't played a lot of them before. Even my wife, who is not super into extraction shooters or shooters just in general, she's been asking me, hey, do you want to play some Arc Raiders? Do you want to boot that up and try it? I'm like, what? But sure, but what? And so it's I think very approachable for a lot of people, which is good for the genre of extraction shooters. Some of that I think does translate to new players for Marathon. Do I think Marathon though, and this is the important bit, do I think Marathon can get the number of players that they need to like keep Bungie in its current form afloat? I personally don't think so. I don't see, for example, Marathon magically outperforming what Arc Raiders is doing. Arc Raiders, like multiple days or even a week after launch, is hitting new player peaks of like 450,000 players concurrent on Steam alone. Like that's crazy. That's ridiculous. And I personally don't see Marathon reaching that level of success. But to be fair, I didn't think that Arc Raiders would hit like 450,000 concurrent. That's crazy. That's insane. Okay. But without a doubt, Marathon is fighting a massive uphill battle. I think Arc Raiders' current success, considering Marathon will come out probably 4 or 5 months after Arc Raiders has launched, I think that it probably means that I think it's probably good for Marathon more than it's bad for Marathon, because there will be some people who are like, I finished all the content in Arc Raiders that I have for this season, so I'm just gonna, you know what, I'm gonna call it good. I'm gonna go try Marathon, see what that's like, and I'm gonna compare the two. So I think they will get a lot of people dipping their toes in. Whether they can actually like convert those players into long-term players who move from Arc Raiders over to Marathon, that remains to be seen, because we just don't know what they've added. We don't know what new stuff there is. And from what I saw back in April or May or whatever that was, it needed a lot more content to be anywhere close to what Arc Raiders has at launch. Maybe they will have built that out over the last year, but time will tell. Time will tell. So do I think that your question, how Marathon will do? I think it will actually probably do better than it would have in September. And I think its launch has built out sort of a new audience that's very interested in extraction shooters who previously wouldn't have, because Arc Raiders is a very approachable extraction shooter. But is that enough for Marathon to like magically find profitability and save Bungie from years of mismanagement? I personally don't think so, because they are so underwater right now, and Destiny 2 is collapsing. And I just would be shocked to see. I'd be shocked to see if that game pop off. But we'll see. It's just a matter of time. But I think that the success of Arc Raiders is good for the genre. That will indirectly help Marathon, because there will be people who try it. But unless Marathon, like the only way this works out for Marathon is if Marathon is significantly better than what Arc Raiders currently is, which is going to be very freaking difficult, because Arc Raiders is really well done and there's a lot of content. So it's all about execution at this point. It's just all about the execution. To Marathon's credit, they do have great name recognition. Everybody's heard of Marathon, probably not for good reasons, but at least they know about it. They've heard of it, but we'll see. If I had to put like odds of success, and by success, I mean like, do I think Marathon, say a month after launch, is above 10,000 players? concurrent. I'd say the odds of it being above 10,000 players a month after launch is like 5%. Like I really don't think the odds are that high that they're successful. But it technically is possible. I think if they had launched in September, the odds are like 0.00001 that the game finds any level of success. But now that they've delayed, Arc Raiders has introduced a lot of people to extraction shooters. I think that makes it a little bit more likely, but still not by a ton. If it's 60 to 70 bucks, it's DOA. That would be a big mistake, I think. But they've announced that it's a premium product. Probably it's going to be like 40 bucks would be my guess. So we'll see. I can see 10K if it's free to play, maybe. Well, the big thing is I think that they'll break like maybe 30,000 at launch people trying it. But the key is like how many people will stay playing it after the 2-hour mark when they can't refund it, and how many people will be staying a month after launch when they're in the end game. That I don't think there's many personally, but we'll see. What makes a game premium? How much money they charge for it. It really has nothing to do with the quality. It really, at the end of the day, is just a matter of how much they want from you. Yeah, Arc Raiders has 340,000 and counting on a Monday. Insane. Yeah, dude, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, I thought Arc Raiders was going to do well. I did not think it was going to do like 350 on a Monday. I didn't think it was going to do that well. It's very good. And again, it couldn't have happened to a better team. Embark has worked their butts off for so long on the finals. And so it's so good to see them just get a slam dunk. It's so good to see. They deserve it. They deserve it.